All right, over here, he's not a zombie.
TSL aLive.
I get it.
Yeah. Wait till you hear this other one.
All right, I'm ready.
Over here, he's also not a zombie. You weren't expecting that,
I
were
wasn't
ya?
expecting that.
You thought I was going to do something with a
I thought you were
going
going to make Byun rhyme again, but no, it was good.
He likes Ramyun. Xenex Byun.
Thank you, LG, G-Skill, and Intel for making this this game, I'm losing my train of thought, this event possible. All right, we could see Quick Command Center here. I'm going to call it out right now. I think we're going to see Byun get a Tech Lab again.
You think so?
He's a Tech Lab guy.
He is a Tech Lab guy.
I'm a T-shirt jeans kind of guy. He's a Tech Lab guy.
I'm a sitting in my underwear guy.
Yeah. I mean, Gall makes us wear clothes. Normally, Artosis would be here in his underwear.
Or pajama pants.
Pajama pants. You wear those Roseanne pants, those sweatpants. Now we got Barracks almost complete. Does he have gas? He doesn't have gas, does he?
No, Byun isn't going gas yet. He's just trying to make you look dumb.
I know.
I think you need to throw down, man. You're not going to stand for this, are you?
Not going to booth. What are you doing, man?
Like, shove him. He has no idea what's going on. Tasus gets fired from GOM for assaulting a player. No one understands him. He's like, hey, he didn't go Tech Lab. He's a Tech Lab
It's
guy.
like this crazy thing that's going on in my head that nobody else understands. Now this is a pretty good draw here for aLive. He scouted him right away. He managed to see there was no refinery, and he got to leave in time.
He did indeed. And that's going to alter aLive's build, most likely. He knows for a fact it's going to be a very fast command center. So he may want to do something a little bit different from what he had planned. He probably had a more all-purpose build just in case he didn't get to scout. But whenever you do get to scout Tasteless, you should alter things based upon what you see.
I think for those of you who are training or trying to improve in StarCraft, I think once you're able to both manage the inside of your base and scout and identify what your opponent is doing, that is the first sign that you're actually getting good.
Yeah.
When you get in there, you go, okay. I mean, I've seen people who it doesn't even occur to them to notice if there's a second barracks.
Yeah.
The concept of them scouting is just to know where their opponent is, and that's not what StarCraft is about.
No, it is not.
It's not. I'm tired of arguing with you about it, Artosis. It's not, all right?
You're right. You know, at first, I was subscribing to the Choya Boyu school of thought, where it didn't matter what's in their base, you're just going to make one gas and 4 gates and go.
Right.
But you have convinced me.
Glad I was able to sell that point.
For you, I'm a better man.
Constantly improving you. That mule just died in the corner. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He like
That's
died away
sad.
from the minerals. He was an outsider mule.
But mules love minerals. They should always be with what they love at the end.
They don't live for very long. I think flies live for longer than mules.
Fruit mules.
Fruit mules. That's so funny. Well, the command center's almost done.
You've never seen a fruit dealer actually target a mule with mutas, have you?
Oh.
Fruit mules, man.
Fruit mules. That's good.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
You know, a lot of people right now are thinking, wait a minute, and they're like, is he on it? What? He's never targeted a mule with mutas? And now they're going to go back and check, and someone's going to tweet at me and be like, hey, he did in this game. And I'm like, yeah, I made it up.
It was a joke. Note that aLive did attempt to do, it's a pretty common rush. It's been around since the beta. It's actually one of the rushes I like to do is where he gets the SCB, the Hellion, and the Marines and tries to bust up the ramp, because if Terran's doing anything that's too greedy, you're going to win right there. Or at least kill some SCBs.
Well, nice scan going down by Byun. He does see the Tech Lab, but there was no fake upgrade going in it. Sometimes people get that Cadius reactor and then cancel after the scan, because you always get a scan, Tasteless.
You know, what does Cadius mean? What is Cadius? Is that actually a word?
Cadius is, you know, when people talk about their friends, like, behind their backs and stuff? This is that in Roman times.
No. That's Caddy.
In Roman times, Cadius, man.
Cadius Maximus.
biggest chatter.
Wow. Well, so far aLive. Hold that thought. We got a Banshee coming in here. Uh-oh. You know, Byun missed micro there. He didn't get enough shots off. He let me down.
Well, not everyone is perfect.
Hellion almost, well, we don't have a shot of it, but the Hellion did get destroyed. Entrance, and the Byun command center orbital lands.
Banshee's back.
I'm back.
2 red Marines run to the back. Cowards.
Those are smart Marines, man.
Yeah.
I'd run to the back if I'm a red Marine. That could be you and me back there. We don't want to die.
Forget this. Go stand near the starport waiting for a medevac to come out. That's where I would be. I like go over and talk to an SCV, get it to build me a bunker like behind the mineral line that will never see any play. I like convince it that there's going to be a drop there later, and he.
Uh-oh. I feel like Byun is just going to allow this to happen.
Yeah, this is
pretty bad.
It's pretty
Byun's going
bad.
to drop.
I don't like the siege tank placement by aLive because he doesn't have vision of the high ground right now. He should have his Viking over there.
Look, a drop is great, but actually taking this position. Look, if this was prison, Byun would have to pee sitting down right now. I mean, this is pretty brutal, man. aLive is really dictating the matchup. I mean, he's bullying his opponent all over the map. Byun does his drop. Basically, Byun's like, I'll give it my expansion because maybe this way I can shoot down some of your SCVs. That's not a good trait.
Well, looks like Byun going to come out with all his SCVs, and while he should be able to break through this, just barely, he's lost a lot, Tasteless. And all those SCVs
Oh my
are red.
God, the Marines are still there.
Oh, what?
What?
There's like 1,000 red 1-hit point SCVs. If Byun, I mean, if aLive does not do something about that, I'm going to have to do something about that for him.
Wow, and only the medevac will be able to tell that story.
Oh, man. You know, he needs to actually just send his Banshee up into the mineral line. There could be like 4 missile turrets, he would still get 10 SCV kills. These things are so red.
Dude, one Banshee in there, and that might be the nail in the coffin. He's trying to navigate this Banshee over there.
These kiting Marines that are at full health with the medevac, don't do that. aLive, you just don't know how dead those SCVs are.
We have some scary music playing.
Well, we're on like this deserted space platform at the end of space because it's Terminus Re, the end location.
This is basically like the climax.
Yeah.
Oh, but there comes the music again. Time to snap
Really
my
lightens the
fingers.
mood.
Yeah. Now here comes the Banshee. He's continuing to try to navigate around these Marines. I'm a little bit surprised that aLive didn't just loop around this and go to the bag.
You know what's very interesting right now is that during all this, aLive didn't have that extra command center. So Byun actually has a reasonable amount of SCVs. He has 33 against 37 for aLive. But again, if he could do any damage through that mineral line, all those SCVs have been hurt so much.
Byun moves out again, and this is going to be the same thing as game number 1, where he should not be engaging. Oh, it looks like Byun is probably going to have to go down and face off against Czech Prime. Czech's pretty good, too, so...
I tell you, at least Byun's Marines, if there was ever a shuttle run during their school's Olympics, they do really well at it.
Yeah, they did like a relay run.
They grab that eraser and run back so quickly. Just imagine they see the army of aLive. Time to retreat. Well, the game's actually a lot more even than it was looking like it was going to be.
Well, you know what it is? That Byun's at least had the expansion off and on.
Yeah, and well, he pulled back at the exact last second with those SCVs against that push. You know
one thing I like about Byun is he's generally pretty okay in games where there's been lots of engagements.
Yeah, it's quite true.
Now here we have SCV scouting out now. Byun does have the room to do a little bit of damage if he wants to. He could do a drop in the main or something. We'll see.
Yeah. Might set up just a light contain. Might try to push in a little bit as well.
And there's a little bit of a lull here. Artosis.
Yes.
You play any games on Terminus Re?
Yeah, actually, the other day I made a custom game with one of my pro gamer friends.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, listen, I have a build. I want to try it in cross spots. I'm going to Baneling bust you. Can you prepare for a Baneling bust? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll prepare for that Baneling bust. I'm like, just do anything, everything to stop it. I don't think you can stop it. And so he's like, all right. And you know what I did, Tasteless, while he's building bunkers and marauders?
What?
I triple expanded. He's like, all right, when are you coming, man? I'm like, oh, I'll be there in a minute. Don't worry.
He's like, all these bunkers.
And then Mutas fly into his base, and I have 60 drones. Poor nerd.
Poor nerd.
That nerd up.
Yeah, no kidding. We did just see Byun try to carve an entrance point to what will soon be the third base here for his opponent. Did not succeed.
Yeah, the destructible debris, only partially destructed.
Yep.
Still blocking the path. But now it's no more than brambles.
That's right. And now it's going to be Byun actually expanding ahead of his opponent. Supply count right now is in the lead here for aLive, but what we really want to focus on is the number of expansions. Sorry, go ahead, Artosis.
No, Tasteless. You. 63 SCVs for Byun, 47 for aLive. So Byun putting out a much better game this time, as I told you he would, Tasteless.
Uh-oh.
A little engagement going on, but
I don't know why Byun's engaging there.
yeah, that's hard to imagine. There's a lot of siege tanks there. They actually deal a lot of damage on siege tanks.
Oh, he's just going to go around. He's like, all right, see you, man. I'll be back at your base. Meet me there.
Well, Byun does have that +1 attack that aLive does not, but again, that's not a good reason to attack with 1/3 the army size.
Well, you know what's funny is we're watching him attack. It's pretty clear who's going to win, but he's waiting until it's like he's lost the critical mass. And he's like, oh no, I got to get out of here.
It is some peculiar play. It's more peculiar than a witch's broom.
That is pretty peculiar. Uh-oh, here he goes. And he look at the siege tanks.
Yes, he will. Very nice spread there by aLive. And Byun, normally he's such a tactical player, but barely gets away.
There's a Tastosa spot in there.
Oh my
See that?
God.
He almost got hurt.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He's invincible.
Now here comes, he's continuing to move up. Look, I gotta say, I think that after seeing these two games, I've learned a lot about Byun's playstyle. He's cool under pressure, but he's just not good at engaging in Terran vs. Terran.
Yeah, certainly not today, at least. We've seen some much better games in the past, I believe. And look at this, losing more units. Byun just kind of giving up units, but his macro is staying on top of things. He's up by 11 supply right now, doing a good job. aLive has not made a third command center. So, aLive kind of has to make this work. He does have, though, 9 siege tanks to 1. And if he pushes correctly with that, he is going to be in pretty good shape against the mostly marine composition that Byun has.
You know, in Terran vs. Terran, for you guys at home, you want to engage the moment that they're either going into or going out of siege mode. You don't want to attack when they're in siege mode. And you know what? aLive is so good, he knows when to not go into siege mode. Did you see that? Oh, very nice. Now he can hit stuff going down the ramp from there, or almost hit, rather. I guess it's not quite far enough.
It's definitely an annoying position. He does gain a foothold there. He can put some Marines up. Start harassing the main a little bit more.
Uh-oh, in range of the siege tank. Is that where you want to be? I think Byun's more upgraded and has medevacs, of course.
Yeah, he does. And just barely holds that off. That almost went in aLive's favor big time. But Byun barely had that critical mass to hold it off.
This is a great move in Terran vs. Terran. If you can't get into your opponent's base, that's fine. Siege up near the main and just start hitting some of his buildings. You don't have to get the expansions. Every little thing counts. I think more so in Terran vs. Terran than in any other matchup. It's a matchup that is won by so many small moves.
Yes. We do sometimes see huge decisive moves, but oftentimes there's a lot of jockeying for position leading up to that. We do have a little bit of siege wars going on. By the way, Byun has pulled way ahead in supply, 137 to 109. Very surprising.
But you know what it is? aLive is late on expanding always.
Yeah, he is. He's always behind on expands. And look at this. He's going to try to go for a drop, but a siege tank. Beautiful placement.
Oh, but he can't see it. He cannot see it because of the smoke.
And he's going to want to get out of there. Will he lose it? He does! Wow. Well,
damn.
We're not going to have any space jettison funeral for those Marines.
No kidding.
You got arms flying around, hitting the windshield of the medevac.
I was about to say,
screams, crashes into the space station.
Eyeball bumps into Marines, thing. Well, then again, there must be gravity on this map, so maybe it's not floating.
Magnetic
But no,
boots.
wait a minute. The magnetic boots on the Marines. But then how would the Zerglings run? No, there has to be like a
They
gravity
have
thing.
claws. They hold onto the ground.
Wait, what's that thing in the middle of the map? That has to be what makes the gravity on the map. Yeah, that thing, the Mako reactor from Final Fantasy VII. We
thought
figured
it made
out.
like magic spells, man.
No, man.
Does all sorts of stuff. Gravity as well.
That has to be the explanation for this map, though. Is there's something that makes gravity. And now we know. It's interesting to see how late aLive's expanding. I feel like aLive's a little bit more of an action-oriented player. Now, that's different from Byun, who's tactically oriented. Uh-oh.
Wow, that's an interesting stim up.
Yeah.
Does pick off a siege tank with it, though.
I think what he wanted to do was actually have them absorb the damage that one siege tank in the dark red, well, with almost no HP behind it, was just killed.
Nice move by Byun there. Byun crushing some base tastes. He's at 172 to 117 in supply. He's going to want to think about taking another base, though, or aLive's going to catch up on that. He's got a good number of siege tanks. It's hard for Byun to actually break through.
Oh, no. Oh, only one Marine.
Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
No, please, for civilian activities. His reign of terror is over.
Dropped his combat shield.
Yeah, when you kill a Marine, if they have the combat shield actually falls on the ground.
Yeah. Well, I guess he can't really hold it anymore. I'm going to tape it to my hand so that even if I die, you don't really know. You're like, he didn't drop the combat shield. Is he faking it? Actually, that'd be terrible because I would fake dying so quick. I'm dead. Total coward.
Total coward.
Hide under my friends' bodies and stuff, man. Absolutely.
If you look at the supply for Byun, 189.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
sick.
to 136. Look, aLive needs to do something. As much as, aLive is good at engaging stuff, Byun's actually busy getting ahead where the action isn't going on.
Yeah. But he needs to get another base. Both players on 3 bases right now.
It will be easier for aLive to get another base due to the positions on this rotationally symmetric map.
Mm-hmm. Well, looks like Byun trying to get into a good position here.
There's the Mako reactor.
He's making gravity.
That's right, clouds in there. And another stem. Backs up, very nice.
I guess you're right, it has to make gravity. I was just thinking, as soon as the Reaper jumps up to scout something, he flies off in his face like, oh!
I guess I'm just starved to death floating around in outer space.
Yeah. He hopes that the sun's pull brings him in. It's much less painful that way. Nice movement by Byun here. Wants to take out these 2 siege tanks to get into a dominant position.
Backs up. Byun is closing in. He's like the blob right now, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And nice. A drop over here.
Yeah, nothing
and if he gets
up
the
there.
factory,
that
would be huge.
There's only 2 factories in there for aLive. Gets that add-on. Will slow down siege tank production at least some. And the factory almost going down. aLive coming back with some units, but I think it will in fact go down. More tanks being dropped. Yeah, this does not look like a position aLive is going to have an easy time getting out of. He is down 50 supply. Byun has a foothold in his base, and here he goes. He's just going to go for it.
Not
Siege
a
up
good
his
concave
tanks.
here for aLive, and that's going to be a GG.
Wow. Byun showing
Talk about clawing his way back in that game. Byun. You enjoy that while you switch it around.
That game was much more Byun.
I bet it was, especially for Byun.
Big Terrence just want to have Byun.
Well, that was a really interesting game we saw there. Look, I think after seeing that, I think Byun can do this. He was in a bad position in both games early on, and this time he managed to pull back. aLive, I think, thought his opponent was dead a while ago. If you have those games, especially in Terran vs. Terran, where you feel like you're so much more ahead of your opponent.
That
and then
attack he
you're
did
like,
was actually
wait a
so
minute.
good. It barely...
Which one?
the first attack where Byun pulled all his SCVs,
Oh, yeah.
he had like 10 plus SCVs in deep red. So
One siege tank shot, they all disappeared.
Yeah, like one more splash damage, a couple more hits from Marines, and suddenly he's ahead by like 10 SCVs and probably wins from there with his next aggression that he barely did not get to work. So I could have seen him feeling like, okay, I feel good right here. But Byun kept his SCVs up and macroed very, very well.
He's a good player. He could still do this. Now I have no idea. I'm totally on the fence about who's going to win this. But the countdown's starting now. So head-to-head here. aLive against Byun. Byun, I really got to commend this guy for keeping his cool and not making blunders when he has had to engage his opponent like 20-plus times. Yeah. Normally he's made mistakes, he's made good moves, but he's always very focused. aLive, a little bit more action-oriented, and that's very different than tactically oriented. aLive is just much more interested in just engaging his opponent right away, and he's good at that. But Byun is kind of finessing his way to a victory, at least in that last game. Let's see who's going to win here in the up and down matches at the GSL.